So I don't think it can be said that that I'm any kind of prude, and I think a person can look at me and sort of see, yeah, probably not. But my question is just how did so much become so crass? Does anyone know like when things kind of moved in that direction? Because I mean, I can. I mean, I like to think that I can't really be stunned. I mean, I just keep hoping humanity is going to get better and not worse, and so I'm just curious. When did that happen? How did that happen? I mean, there's I can be profane, and when I'm real angry, I am occasionally crass. What I would describe as crass. Profane is more what I am when I'm upset, but um, it's also profanity is kind of like a language to me, but I mean being real profane. I mean, and we didn't grow up. We grew up with profanity, not much, and whatever we did that got us in trouble, maybe being disrespectful, our mouths got washed out with soap. So, but I just wonder, I mean, there is some, wow, really stunning communication and ideas. And one of the problems with that is that things can become physically aggressive. And a person can be so depleted by being surrounded by crass and it can be real aggressive. A person saying crass things to another person that doesn't speak the language of crass. I mean, again, some of us occasionally, I mean, I've said things, say things, but it's hard to make sense of it. I mean, and I think about, you know, different things at different times and what's thought of as like explicit and I think about those ratings on records. Was that in the 80s? I don't know. And I'm not talking about music. I'm just talking about things that aren't creative, and that I mean, might be funny to some people, but anyway, well, I just wondered, a person can be poor and not be crass. A person can be working class and not be crass. A person can come from any kind of background that is looked down on and not be crass. And I just wonder, how, why has it gotten so bad? Is there any way when something is communicated that's extremely crass to sort of make that into something else? Or, I mean, you kind of have to acknowledge it is what, I mean, that's what it is. It's not, but can it also be made into something kind of communicating something completely different? I just wonder. I mean, again, I feel like a problem with it is the way that things can become violent. When a person is saying aggressive things that are crass, and and sometimes those ideas become physical violence, and that's really not a good thing. So, I just I just thought I'd ask. Yeah. So, I mean, I can laugh sometimes at humor that is crass. But what I tend to do more often is, yeah, I think that person seems like a pretty nice person and funny, but that's not funny to me, so I'm just going to ignore that. That's kind of more the way that I am. I like for things to have a little more depth, a little more, you know, uh, I don't know, um, I can't find words, But, am I going to be accused of being a prude now? Just like when I had concerns about, John drinking and taking pills at the same time, that I was, his mom asked him if I was going to be a prohibitionist for Halloween. I mean, I guess that's possible. I think I'm sort of talking about moderation and also, alcohol and pills together. That's a dangerous mixture, and so I could say there's some things that a person probably shouldn't do, and I think, do I need to say more than that? I mean, moderation, and there's some things where you can't really be moderate. Violence, that's not an area where people can be moderate. And again, when ideas kind of spill over into actions, that's concerning. So yeah, just a question for this early Tuesday morning.